Hey guys, good morning. It's Melissa with Sunday Chats with Melissa. And I wanted to do just a little short video this morning about foundation. I had talked earlier in the week about how my skin had changed and how I had to change my whole routine. So I know from some of the comments that you guys are going through the same thing. So I thought I would just give you a little idea of what I'm using and how I use it. So I wash my face at night. I don't always do it in the morning. It is good to exfoliate in the morning if you have time. I think your makeup does set better if you exfoliate in the morning, and it doesn't have to be a full exfoliation. I mean, you could just use a cloth. You know, sometimes a cloth and a little bit of grainy cleanser, and you can get that taken care of. It doesn't have to be like a whole thing, because the whole point of being beautiful is not wasting precious life getting that way. So to not bore you, I've already washed my face and I've already moisturized it and put my setting spray on it, as well as my primer spray and primer. So I use the CeraVe. I use that, and I put a little bit of Yaropalm in there for its healing properties. So I use that as my morning moisturizer. It says it's for nighttime, but in the winter time, it's a PM one. I use it in the morning because I need more moisture. I have gas heat, and it's cold, and I'm extra dry. So in the summertime, I do use this at night. In the winter time, I use it in the night and in the morning. So I've already done that and add the Yaropalm in. I love the Tarte base tape. I just got that. It's a really nice moisturizing primer. And the way I apply that is I just do one pump and then I just press it in. So we're ready for the foundation. So like I told you earlier in the video, if you watched it, I changed to the Fit Me foundation. And this one is, what is the name of it? Mine is medium buff. I don't spend as much time out in the sun as I used to, so I don't have to change my foundation colors too much. But this is what works for me now. So just go to your local wherever, drugstore or Ulta, and look for the color that best fits. I go by the top of my hand. That's what always works for me. So what I do for that, and I also was using a thicker CC cream before, and so it was a little bit different to apply. And then I had not worn a liquid foundation in some time. I went from liquid foundation, I think was probably CoverGirl back in the day, my first foundation, to Bare Minerals, which I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's a powder foundation that you buff in. And then I went to the IT, which was a CC cream. So I've moisturized my little sponge, and I'm just going to dab it on my palm, and I'm just going to apply it. And I'm applying it by pressing it in instead of rubbing. Our face doesn't need any tugging. That's not necessary. And so I find this process gives you better coverage. You can see better with the sponge where you're getting it and where you might need more. So today my skin's a little drier than normal, so I'm just gonna add a little more. It just goes by the day. It goes by how your body is reacting. It goes by the season. So there is no rules per se about how much you need or how much to use. It's going to go by how you're feeling that day, how your skin is feeling, what the environment that you're in is, and you just want good coverage. So you can use the sponge, as you can see here, to get around your nose. And also, if you're back to wearing a liquid foundation, you're going to want to make sure you blend it in here. My mom used to tell me all the time, you're not really good at blending in at your jawline. She was right. So there. That is good coverage for me today. Alrighty. And then next I add the Fit Me powder. I use this in light medium. It's number 20. I have a variety of prestige and non-prestige. And I feel like it's a personal preference about what you think you should use of each one. I have some I'm going to use this the same way that I did my, excuse me, I did my foundation. So I'm just going to press the powder in and set my foundation. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I have friends who are good makeup people, who are good sources of information. And there's just some things that I feel like that the non-prestige brands can give us now for our money. I personally would rather spend more money on an eye palette and really good lipstick. Not to say that the non-prestige brands don't make good lipsticks. I just happen to like the prestige lipsticks a little more. So I want to spend my money there. This is also a good time if your lips need a little exfoliating, is to put some exfoliating on there. I like this one from e.l.f. This one is Sweet Cherry, and I think I also have one in Mint. It has kind of some exfoliating stuff in there. And while I'm putting on my makeup, I just add it, and then I scrub my lips together, and it helps with exfoliating. And that's especially good if your lips are dry, or you want to put on a really good lip that day. Sometimes you don't really want a good lip. You just want your regular old lips because you got to keep it moving. So, all right. So the next thing I do is an under eye concealer. This one is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. You can see that. And the color for me is, oh Lord, Golden Natural. And I also use a sponge with this. So I'm just going to dot, and like I say, it just is going to depend on you and your eyes and your skin. But this is what works for me. If you need more or less, use more or less. I have a small sponge. I'm just going to do the same thing that I did with my foundation to this. Not only does this help with discoloration, which we get with age, with sun exposure, and various other skin issues, it also helps to set your eyes for your shadow. And I like to try to get down by my lash line really good so that my eyeshadow liner sets. Okay. All right. And just blend that in really good. Come in down the sides of your nose. Blend that. There. Okay. And then if you'd like an all over powder, you can do that. I like my Bare Minerals powder, which I left in my dressing room. I like that as an all over. You can also use it with a brush and set that, but I will just set all of this again with a little bit of the Fit Me powder. So again, I'm just going to tap my sponge into the lid, and I'll just press to just set it. This really, to me, is the longest part. Putting on your eyes, to me, doesn't take as long. This is what really takes time for me, because you want to make sure that it's blended and even, and that you have great coverage. So that is all I do for foundation. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's helpful for you. If you have any questions, list them down in the comments below, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. And I'm going to pop off, and then I'm going to go and fix my face for the rest of the day. All right. Have a great day. Bye.